It's December 2019 and I've just had a clairvoyant reading. Yeah, let me tell you what she said. She thinks that between now until but she basically said that between now and after Christmas things are going to get a lot worse. She said things are going to kick off until I eventually move out from my place. She said there's a risk of a burglary. She didn't say it like that, by the way. I'm just making it sound a bit more obvious to what she said, because obviously they have to be polite and they can't tell you that sort of thing. There's a risk of 2 people that could cause serious harm. The condition of my place is not going to be very good. She thinks I'm going to get out more, maybe using the bus. That could be true, because I've actually used the bus a couple of times recently. Not to go very far, just up the road, because obviously I'm a little bit concerned about other people that use the bus. Maybe I'll branch off a little bit further later on. There is a girlfriend for me. A partner has been predicted, and she said that you have to get through the obstacle course to get there to stop it being defeated. It shouldn't be defeated, and this lady's going to understand your situation and problems. She's going to be a sexy lady, someone that's not a single parent, which is somebody I'd like, to be honest, because obviously I don't want to be responsible for other people's children, basically, because it's not really my thing. And you know, if you haven't had sex in your whole life or a partner since birth, then basically, you know, you've got to look at the situation of having someone that you can rely on as a genuine partner. You know, it's going to be she said it's not going to be the bestest looking person ever, but it's definitely going to be someone who's going to be very nice, smooth attraction, very happy, good sense of humour and all that sort of thing. So yeah, the clairvoyant also said just let a person walk past a minute so I can get my bearings and think what to say, because I've done this recording about 7 or 8 times and I keep on failing, and I don't really want to do it at home because obviously people are listening into what I'm saying, basically. So I'm doing it outside where I can think more clearly and do that. Right. She thinks that she made the suggestion that the partner could be linked with the Secret World Healing Weekend in July. So there's an event that takes place each year in July that's held at the Secret World Animal Rescue Centre. I've been predicted a partner, and she's applied. It's either going to be there or by socialising at some event of 2020. So she says there's no girlfriend coming for Christmas, I don't think. Can't remember. But she definitely said it's going to be very shortly. There is going to be a move, but the move is not going to take place until next year. So 2020, and she made it sound like it could be later on in the year. She says you're definitely going to have a partner before you move. And she said that all this stuff that I write down, these problems, or to photographing stuff when I go out, she said that's going to continue for just a little bit when I get a partner, but she said it's going to eventually just wear off within weeks. So she did have some promising news there. Yeah, and the reason I do write these things down is because I'm not very happy about the illegal things that happened to me as a child, and not being allowed to have a single partner in my whole life, or fun. So when you haven't had none of that, and you've had the illegal things happen to you as a child, it's not really a very good suggestion. So this is why I started a pack called Deep Depression in the year of 2002. I think it was November 2002. for the time of year, I don't expect to see so many people on the beach, but I can't exactly go anywhere to do this recording, so I do apologise for all the activity that's around me, and it's bloody cold as well, so yeah. Right, the next thing she mentioned was my music taste. She thinks I'm still going to be into the same type of music I've always been into, but she thinks I'm going to leave it aside, the stuff that I'm into now. So the old school jungle stuff, she thinks I'm just going to leave aside, and she thinks eventually that I might go out of it completely, because she thinks I'm going to go into more sort of commercial sounds, maybe chill out, new age, 70s, 80s, pop, 90s, chart music. She just thinks that my music style is going to change when this lady comes into my life. Now, she didn't give a name to this lady, but she said it's going to be someone that understands the situation and is going to help me with this situation, and is going to be a very sexy type of person. So it's good to know that, because obviously I'm having trouble on dating, because I've used dating sites for 16 years and I've been scammed for £10,000, and that £10,000 does include everything. That includes a travel scamming on Facebook, like £500 that I wasted to black Africans scamming me, or other people in America, right through to payments on dating sites and paying escorts to try and give me some fun, and it ends up in no more than a garden gnome. So yeah, it's pretty bad, and it's not very good to know that you've had illegal things happen to you in your previous life, because a past life clairvoyant 12 years ago told me that the same happened in my last life. I was abused and I wasn't allowed a single enjoyment with anybody. So I was basically, I don't want to have to word it like this, but I can't find another way to put it without, I don't want to cause offence, you see. So if I just say sexually crucified, that might cover what I'm trying to say. No, I don't mean to be offensive or anything like that, but I can't find a word to say, or a word to think of that I can say to what I'm trying to explain. So basically that's what's happened in my last life, and if I don't get anyone in this life, then obviously it's going to happen, then that's 2 lives where it's happened. And then obviously you've got to think about what could happen when I'm born again in my next life. So we're going to try and get through in this life and see if I can get a partner in this life. Now, she did make the suggestion it's not going to be a young lady, you know, like what my enemies have been with, like all these blonde teenagers they were with when they went clubbing to Ibiza or in Bridgewater Palace nightclub or whatever, say 20-25 years ago. But she did say that it's going to be someone I'm able to fancy. So that would be great, because I'm currently 37, coming up 38 on December the 9th this year. So on the 9th of December 2019 I would be 38, which is not a very good age, because some of the people that did illegal things to me as a child are nearly 20 years younger than I am today, and people on dating sites are getting very moany about the age gap, because they're given this issue where they're saying you're supposed to have people that are munters, or people that you can't stand the look of, or saying that you've got to go with these sorts. And I'm not the sort of person that can easily fancy that type, and when you've not had anybody in your whole life, it's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, I used to know a friend at my old school, and she is one of these types of people that are not very pretty. Now, I don't dislike her, I like her as a friend, but I just don't fancy her because I can't take to this type, and that's Lisa Pike. So she's a very nice person, so I'm told. I haven't seen her for like 20 years, but she does caring in Taunton and for old people. So she's got a job and she enjoys life, but her interests, however, is a lot different to mine. The only thing we're about the same with, to what I can make out or been told, is she's into animals. So otherwise every other interest is a lot different to what I'm into. So yeah, the clairvoyant thinks that the music style is going to change. She said there's going to be no work. She did say that there's not going to be much in the way of work, but she thinks that maybe in a couple of years or whatever, or somewhere down the line there could be voluntary work, or you may want to try some work or something like that, but it won't be done until you're with this partner. She thinks that I'm going to start using the taxi service. She did say public transport, but later on she did actually say, when I saw her, transport. She did mention, she made the taxi service basically. She said that. I'm just going to, because there's someone walking past, so it's confusing what I'm trying to say. Just give me a few seconds. It's not usually this busy, not for the time of year anyway, but I'm sitting in like the June part where I'm keeping warm and out the windy weather, but the busyness for the time of year is really, it's been annoying me, to be honest, because everywhere you go you just can't get from A to B and back to A again without a lot of people. But anyway, she thinks that you're going to use this like a taxi service with this partner to get to places rather than using public transport, what I'm using at the moment. That's what she made the suggestion of. I don't think she actually put it in that term, but that's the suggestion she made. But she made it sound like it's not going to happen until this partner comes into my life. Things at home are not going to be as calm, because obviously in the year 2020, from late December onwards, right through until I eventually move out of the place I'm at the moment, which is 27 Barrow Road, Burnham-on-Sea, she just said that things are just going to get worse and worse, and eventually it's going to end up in an issue where the police are going to get involved. It's just going. She says it's just not the right place for me, and she said it's just turning out a right slum, basically. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to what she said, but I did tell her that she is spot on. So yeah, she did pick up on the medication that the doctor gives me. Now, I don't see him very often, but I did mention it, and we had a little bit of a discussion, and she was saying that medication's not going to help solve the problems I'm getting. They need to look at the situation more seriously and see my side of the story, instead of leaving it aside, thinking that nothing's happening when it is. And she said it's not medication you need. She said medication's not going to do anything, or in some effect she thinks that it's just not the sort of, she said it's just not going to do nothing. It's just, she said, it's pointless taking it. It's more likely to do more harm than good. But she says, I don't want to cause any trouble, all that sort of thing. But she says that's what her guide's telling her, basically. She didn't say it like that, but I'm rewording it to how she put it, because obviously when they tell you these readings, they've got to be a bit polite, and they're not really allowed to say stuff that causes offence. So I'm basically giving a stronger term to what she said, basically. Now, obviously I told her that if I did get a partner, then obviously I wouldn't let these threats bother me. But I said I would like to move if I got a partner, because obviously things are just going to continue getting worse even if I get a partner. Now, I'll be more withstandable to the situation if I had a partner and I just pass it by as this and that. And now obviously I'd go out all the time with a partner and I wouldn't leave her home, so I'd take care of her really well. She said to try not to lose my temper or get agitated by threats, because it'd make the situation worse. Now and again, it's very, very rare, but when I get a lot of trouble, especially when it's on the grounds of sexuality, I open the window and I shout my views across, and sometimes they can be a little bit nasty. Now, I don't mean to do it, and what I say obviously I would not do, so if I say I'm going to really lose my temper with someone, in reality I wouldn't lose my temper. It's a way of saying I've had enough and I'm telling them off. She says you need to stop doing that. She says try and put up with the problems the best you can just until this lady comes into your life. She says she doesn't want to see me end up with police on my door, me ending up in court or anything like that. She just said try to put up with the situation. She said it's only until the partner comes into your life, which is going to be in my life, and we're going to be together and enjoying life before probably the summer of 2020. She made it sound like it was earlier than that, but I had the suspicion that it could be at the healing weekend at Secret World Animal Rescue Centre. Maybe it is, but she made the suggestion it was before the summer, so before June. She definitely made it sound like that. However, this event at Secret World takes place in July, so I'm not exactly sure if she's that. It's hard to say. Maybe she means something else, but I just had that feeling it could be there. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it will come in before that time. She thinks I'm going to be taking interest in arts. She reckons that all the negativity around me, all the nasty people are being put in my direction all the time, or causing trouble, like mistaking me as Sven or Liam as well as my real name Justin. She reckons all that's just going to brush aside, or the negativity around me. She thinks as soon as a partner comes into my life, she thinks that things are going to change. She thinks I'm in like a trap, and she says, and it's like you can't avoid the trap, and unless you get a partner, basically, or until this partner comes into your life. It's like she was saying that your mind is cursed, so you're trying to get from A to B and back to A again, but wherever you go, you are stuck in a situation of a controlled obstacle course that you can't escape. Now, you can break the circuit as soon as you get that partner, because you'll change the direction you take in life, and it will split up the curse that I'm in, basically. She said something like that. I can't remember how she put it. She said that the one of my family members' boilers could pose a risk. She mentioned that in the reading, and she didn't really go much into that, but if you know anyone that's got a dodgy boiler, to inform them in case there's any issues of an explosion or a problem with it, because obviously she said that. So that was another thing she said. She had the suspicion that I might get a bike to cycle, that is, but in time. She said it would be definitely be when you're with this partner, because the partner that she predicts for me might not have a bike, but she enjoys cycling. So that's what the Clairvoyant said, and there's a couple of people coming again, so I'm going to have to stop this recording. But if you have any thing you want to mention about this recording, then leave the comments on this YouTube video, and thank you for listening to it. Cheers.